Hello there. I am super excited that you have decided to watch this series of videos. Yes, I'm really passionate about having singles get it right, especially when it comes to the issue of marriage. And you know, for your marriage to work, you need to lay the right foundations for your marriage. So for that to happen, I have decided to do this series of videos so that you can be enlightened about what you need to do, the things you need to mix up to get a very firm foundation for your marriage. God wants you to enjoy your marriage. So make sure you watch all 3 parts of this video series. You don't want to miss out on any part of it. Alright, so bride in waiting, come along with me. Whether you're engaged or you're not, these videos are for you.
So I promise you forever and for always.
Now this first part of the series has been tagged, Are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure about what? Are you sure you want to get married? Are you sure you really want to venture into marriage? You see, many people don't even understand the basic concept of marriage before going into it. And so when they get into it and they meet the shocker of their lives, they are, just flabbergasted and they are lost. And at the end of the day, you can't even control the things that are happening around them anymore because they did not go in with a sense of purpose. Alright, so if we're talking about marriage, what is marriage for in the first instance? That's the very first thing that you need to be sure about. What is marriage for? What's your own picture of marriage? Now, the only true picture of marriage is the one that God has given us, because He is the one that has instituted marriage to start with. So what is marriage for? What is marriage for? I will just be highlighting what marriage is for in this video. I won't be going in depth. I have done that in another video. You can check out my YouTube channel. The title of that video is Why Marry When You Can Stay Single? Yes, so check my YouTube channel for in-depth explanation on what marriage is for. Check Omolola Omoshebi. That's my YouTube channel. Alright, so what are these things that marriage has been set up for? The first one is so that you can reflect God's glory. God wants your marriage to reflect His glory. He wants both of you to come together and then reflect His glory to the world. He wants you to showcase His being. He wants you to showcase His glory to the world. The second reason for marriage is for companionship. God wants 2 of you to come together and serve as companions for each other, and then enjoy life together. The third reason for marriage is so that you can know each other in ways that no one else is allowed to know. You can know your spouse in a way that no other person can know him, and vice versa. So the fourth reason for marriage is so that you can reproduce godly seeds. God wants both of you to come together and reproduce godly seeds on the earth. He wants you to multiply. He wants you to be fruitful. Okay, and then finally, so that you can come together and fight the battles of life together. So these are the 5 reasons for marriage that I've been able to draw out from scriptures. Now that you know what marriage is for, beautiful, we know what marriage is for. I need you to ask yourself a very pertinent question. Is marriage for me? Ask yourself that question. Is marriage for you? Yes. If you think marriage is for you, then let's dive in to this series. Alright, so is marriage for you? Is marriage for you? So if you're asking yourself if marriage is for you, you then need to ask yourself why you want to get married. Why do I want to get married? You need to ask yourself. People go into marriage for different reasons, absurd reasons for that matter. If you go into marriage with the wrong mindset, you are almost sure of being disappointed. I can bet that with you. And that is the problem. Many people go into marriage with so many, unheard of reasons that are not good enough. Okay? So why do you want to get married? Why do you want to get married? Is it so that you can gain social standing? Especially in the side of the world where I come from. The people that are getting married, or the people that have gotten married, they seem to accord them some level of respect. So, or maybe you want to show yourself to your friends that, hey, I'm not left out of this, trend of us getting married. Or maybe you just want to find someone to dump your liabilities on. Many ladies do that. They just want someone that will cater for them, take care of their needs. And at least my parents have been working all this while. My mom has been suffering to put me through school, so it's time for me to look for someone else to take care of me and my family. Those are some reasons why some people decide to get married. You need to check yourself. What are your reasons for wanting to get married? Is it so that you can fulfill the purposes that I've highlighted, or for your own selfish reasons, just to show off to the world, just to meet your own personal needs and nothing more? Now, the thing about marriage is that marriage is a place where you give and give. That is the way you can enjoy marriage God's way. When you give and you give and you give, when you decide, oh, I'm going into this thing so that I can give myself, so that I can give my resources, so that I can give my love, so that I can give everything that I have. That is what marriage is for, really. Giving. It's a place of giving. It's a place of giving. Alright, so now let's say you have highlighted the reasons you want to get married. Now, what is the role of a woman in marriage? That's the next thing you need to know. What's the role of a woman in marriage? And it's really simple. Very simple. The answer is in Genesis chapter 2 verse 18. Okay? You are made to be an helper. The wife is an helper to her husband. The woman is made to be an helper. Now, that is not to say that, okay, that's a show of weakness. No, you're not weak. An helper in this context, as a matter of fact, it's very, very interesting to find out that the Hebrew word helper, as recorded in Genesis 2 verse 18, is found thereafter in the Bible only in reference to God. Now, is God weak? No. So, just like God helps us, He wants you to help your husband. Isn't that fantastic? So you're going into marriage to do a very massive work of being an helper to your husband. That's what you're going into marriage for. You're not going there to cross your legs. You're not going there to go and sit down and just, parade yourself. You're going in there to fulfill a particular purpose, and that is to complement your husband and to help him, to invest in his life. Marriage is a place where you invest in. It's not somewhere you go and you say, oh, I just want to draw out from this well. If you keep drawing out without giving anything back, there will be nothing left after a while. So the basic thing is to know that you're going into marriage as an helper, to help your spouse. That is why I agree so much when people say that marriage takes work. Yeah, so you're going into marriage not to relax, not to sleep and then just, enjoy and all that. Yes, all that will come. But you're really going into marriage to work. So God is calling you into the place of marriage, because I believe that marriage is a ministry. It's a ministry of help. Yeah, so when God calls you to get married, He wants you to go in there and do certain work for Him. To work in that marriage, to cultivate that marriage, to invest into that marriage. So, I hope you get this right. That when you decide to get married, you're signing up for work. You're signing up for work. So, the Bible makes us realize that as wives, okay, you're very much like your husband. You're comparable to him, but you're different in ways that complement or help your husband. Okay, you're comparable to him. You're not lesser than him. You're not less of a human being than him. All right, you're comparable to him. However, you are there to help him. You are there to do something, wonderful in his life, to complement his efforts, to complement his life by helping him. Not only helping him, but helping the whole world to become all that God intends them to be. So God wants you to go into marriage with that attitude, with that call, okay, with that conviction that you have been called to ministry, to minister to your husband, because that is what I see it as. As a wife, you are called to minister. to your husband. You are called to, invest in his life, And so, marriage is a place of work. All right. So, we know what marriage is all about. Yes, I believe so by now. I believe that you now understand what marriage is all about, in case you didn't know before. In case you knew before, this is a reminder, a very, very important reminder, that marriage is not a place where you just, hey, I just want to feel among. No, it's a place where you decide to go into. It's a decision you have to be really convinced about. You have you have to understand what marriage is about, and then consciously decide, okay, marriage is not for everybody. And that is the truth that I keep hammering every time. Marriage is not for everybody. Not everyone is going to get married. But if you decide to get married, you have to decide because you are deeply convinced that you should get married. So, do you still want to get married? That's cool. If you still want to get married. However, I would like to say something finally on this video. The next video is going to be very comprehensive. You can't afford to miss that. But to conclude this, I would like to talk about something very, very important, something that is really pertinent to you enjoying your marriage, and that is for you to make sure that you choose right. That's actually like the basic foundation for your marriage. I actually find it interesting when someone tells me about the people that are proposing to them, okay, or someone that has proposed to her, and she's describing someone that I can't just figure out why she's even contemplating that it could be a possible choice. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. All right, so someone does not share the same faith with you. Someone does not have the same values as you. Even without having to carry out any research, you already know about this person, that you are worlds apart. You're parallel lines with your beliefs, with your purposes in life and all that. But then you still consider, oh, maybe it could be the person. There are certain things that just strike some people out of your list. I mean, automatically. You don't even have to consider it. You don't have to waste your time praying about anything, because that would be a waste of time, just like I said. There are some people that immediately you see them like this. I'm not talking about physical. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about him not being strikingly handsome or not tall like you wanted. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about someone that does not have the same values as you. He doesn't share the same faith as you. He's not a child of God. Let me just come to it. He doesn't fear God. You know that he doesn't fear God. That person should not even be considered at all to be a marriage partner. I admonish you. Open your eyes really wide. Don't let pressures from your parents, from your friends, from the society push you into what is not. Don't settle for less than God's best for you, because God has his best in stock for you. He has something beautiful for you. He has a wonderful man in stock for you that he wants you to enjoy the rest of your life with. So it's very, very important for you. Please, 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 I beg you in the name of the Most High God, make sure that you choose right. And to do that, for that to happen, the only way that can happen is for you to listen to God. It's for you to understand how God speaks to you, and then be sure that he is the one giving you a go ahead in that relationship. I tell you, that's the baseline for your success in marriage. If you're able to get it right, I'm not saying that if you marry the right person you won't encounter problems along the way. But if you marry the right person, if you marry a friend of God, someone that fears God, I can assure you that even when storms come, you'll be able to steer through it successfully, two of you hand in hand. So, make sure you choose right. If peradventure you're already in a relationship, I want you to go back again and ask yourself, am I in the right relationship? Go back to God. God, is this really what you want me to go for? Is this where you want me to have, is this where you want to serve as my bus stop? Is this it? Ask God again. I can tell you, you can never get it wrong with God. When you go with God, when you allow God to lead you, I'm not talking about you thinking that it is God. You have to be sure that it is God leading you. It's the first step towards it. Yes, and God speaks to us through different means. Develop a relationship with God and then sign up only for a friend of God. That is the only way you can enjoy a beautiful marriage if you decide to get married. Yes, so let me know what you have gained from this video in the comment section below. Yes, let me know. I would love to have your feedback. I value your feedback a lot. Let me know how this has helped you. And if you have questions, you can drop them right there as comments, okay? Or send an email to thebeautifulbranch@gmail.com. I would also like to recommend my book, The Polished Single, to you. At this point, you can get a copy of the book to equip yourself, to further equip you for single life, okay? To equip yourself as a single person, and then to prepare you for that future that you are looking forward to. You can visit www.omoshebimiriamolola.com/resources for your own copy. It's going to bless you. I would love to have you on the other side. See you on the second video. Bye for now.